Miss Aurelia. Faith's voice rang out as she lifted the thick curtain and entered the room. Seeing Aurelia sitting on the edge of the bed, she hurried forward with a lightly padded cloak and draped it over her shoulders. Noticing Aurelia looked pale and worn, Faith asked anxiously, "Why did you get up without calling for someone to assist?" "It's just past the hour of the sheep," Faith replied as she tied back the bed curtains. "Would you like some shredded chicken porridge? Help me get up," Aurelia said, pulling the cloak closer around her. With a call of "The eldest young lady is up," the once quiet courtyard bustled into motion. Snow was swept, water fetched. A line of neatly dressed maids appeared outside holding wash basins, towels, spittoons, and rinsing water, ready for the morning routine. Faith motioned for them to lift the curtain and enter. Seraphina returned to the courtyard of luminous grace and, upon hearing that Aurelia had risen, quickly dusted the snow off her clothes and entered. She found Aurelia dressed in a white robe embroidered with plum blossoms and wearing a white fox fur cloak, clearly ready to go out. "The snow's heavy outside and you're still recovering." "Where are you headed?" she asked while fastening Aurelia's cloak. "To visit grandmother." Seraphina wanted to protest but knew it was futile. Their young lady was determined. She handed over a freshly warmed hand stove from the brazier without another word. Taking the stove into her arms, Aurelia instructed, "Later, when I'm with grandmother, don't stay. Go to the front courtyard and ask Lu Ping, the guard, to wait for me by the rockery corridor in the back courtyard in half an hour. I need to speak with him." "Yes, miss," Seraphina replied at once. After a few steps, Aurelia turned to Faith, who was still tidying up her travel chest. For now, Faith was among the few who remained loyal. "Faith, tell Kingsu to come see me at the hour of the rooster." By her estimate, the White family men were likely all lost by now. But, since fate had brought her back, Aurelia intended to try everything she could. Even if she could save just one, it would be worth it. "Right away. Once I'm done here, I'll find Miss Shen," Faith replied cheerfully. The snow continued to fall as Aurelia walked across the courtyard. The maid sweeping snow at Longevity Pavilion spotted her from afar and quickly ran inside to inform the household. Before she reached the courtyard gates, Edith, her grandmother's old attendant, rushed out with a group of maids, umbrella in hand. She smoothly took the half-cooled hand stove from Aurelia and gave her a new one while holding the umbrella over her. Everyone in the household knew Aurelia had become especially sensitive to cold since a stab wound and fall into icy water years ago. Edith had served the Dowager Princess since childhood, never married, and ultimately followed her mistress in death. Her loyalty was beyond question. "Dear child, the snow hasn't stopped. Why come now?" Edith asked, concern in her eyes. Aurelia walked beside her. "Is grandmother awake from her nap?" "The Dowager Princess is awake, offering prayers for the Duke and the heir apparent's safe return," Edith replied. "And how has she been lately?" "Worry not, miss. Her health stable under the care of the imperial physician, though, with the year-end approaching and the men still away, she's had some trouble sleeping." Aurelia nodded and stepped into the warm chamber. Edith quickly had the servants help change her snow-dampened shoes and warm her hands. "Edith, wait," Aurelia said, removing her cloak and handing it to Seraphina. She sat by the fire. "I need to speak with you, alone." Edith immediately understood and sent the others away. "News has come from the southern border." Edith's face paled. "Is it the Duke?" Aurelia stared into the brazier, warming her hands before quietly replying, "Please, prepare the life-saving medicine the Empress Dowager once gifted grandmother, and get some ginseng slices ready too." Edith's face turned ghostly white. A sharp crack interrupted them. Aurelia looked out the carved window. Snow had broken a tree branch. Her fingers tightened. "Also, send someone with grandmother's visiting card to summon Physician Huang. Miss Aurelia, the Dowager Princess, has sensed something. She's been unable to sleep. She is strong, she'll manage without a physician," Edith said, eyes welling up. "Better to have him on hand," Aurelia whispered, her gaze heavy with sorrow. She already knew how strong her grandmother was. Too well from the last lifetime. She feared losing family more than anything now. Her grandmother, sharp as ever, would likely deduce much from even the smallest hint. Preparation was crucial. Could it be the heir apparent too? Edith leaned on the doorframe, nearly collapsing. Aurelia nodded solemnly, her eyes red. You're not an outsider, Edith. I won't hide the truth. The White family may have to rely entirely on grandmother now. Before any official war report arrives, I'll use a dream as pretext to prepare her. She'll need you, stay strong. Though her mind reeled, Edith nodded. If the child could endure, so could she. She summoned someone to deliver the invitation to Physician Huang. After warming up in a side room, Aurelia waited for the doctor's arrival. Then she had Edith announce her visit. Ah, Bao, you're still unwell. Why come through the snow? The Dowager Princess scolded gently, pulling her close. She felt her hand. It was warm. Only then did her expression soften. Hearing her childhood name again, Aurelia felt like she was dreaming. I missed you, grandmother, she murmured, voice tight with emotion. The Dowager Princess playfully tapped her forehead. Everyone else is tidying up for the portrait sitting later. Yet here you are. Tomorrow, Beatrice would marry, first in their family to wed. The Dowager Princess had invited court painters to capture portraits of her granddaughters. Embraced by her grandmother, smelling the familiar sandalwood scent, Aurelia's heart ached. She feared that even with warning, the future might still mirror the past. Seeing Edith nod from the doorway, Aurelia knew Physician Huang had arrived and the hall had been cleared. Grandmother, she looked up solemnly. Today I had a dream. I saw grandfather, father, our uncles and brothers. None of them made it back from the southern border. You were devastated, fell ill, and someone falsely accused our family of treason. With only us women left, without your protection, we were at their mercy.